Hey ghouls and gals, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor and today's video is going to be a birthday slash vacation book haul. At the end of June, I turned 30, got a lot of books for my birthday, and then during that time I was also on vacation and ended up picking up some books as well. So I figured I would do a little bit of a book haul. I don't think any videos this year where I've sat down and done dedicated book hauls. I've just kind of thrown them in vlogs because I don't typically pick up a ton of books all at once, but just because of the situations of the birthday and then also vacation at the same time, I have quite a few books to haul, and not only quite a lot of books to haul, but also just some fun stories with some of them. So let's just go ahead and get into this book haul. So first of all, we will start off with Nightworms. This was the June package and I actually had it sent to my parents' house so I wouldn't miss it in transit. There wouldn't be a chance of it being delivered to my house while I wasn't there. So I did get 2 books for that subscription. Nightworms is a monthly horror subscription box and you get 2 books every month, usually a hardcover and a paperback. And for June, I got 2 books that I'm pretty excited about. Number 1 is Immaculate Conception by Ling Ling Huang, and I am so excited to get to this book. I loved Natural Beauty when it came out. It was one of my favorite horrors of that year, so I am so excited that I have my hands on a copy of Huang's latest. I cannot wait to get to this one. I believe this is like a sci-fi sort of horror, so that's gonna be exciting to pick up. And then the other one is Silk and Sinew, a collection of folk horror from the Asian diaspora, and this is edited by Christy Park Kulski, and this one is a collection of short stories. I'm really excited to get to this. One of the reasons that I do really like Nightworms is that I have noticed the couple of boxes that I've gotten this year, because I am a newer subscriber, they have a great mix of books that are already on my radar and then books that are maybe like indie published or smaller publishing houses that were not on my radar. So I am excited for this one, a collection of folk horror stories. I just feel like short story collections are perfect for things like readathons and ways to find new authors. So these were the first 2 books in the haul. I technically got these right before vacation started, but I did want to include them because especially this one is one of my most anticipated horror releases of the year. Now we are diving into birthday presents, and my brother at the very beginning of June, end of May, I kind of forget exactly when, but he went to Ireland with a couple of his friends and he picked up Never Flinch by Stephen King for me. It was something that I had just kind of offhand mentioned, hey, this book just came out. If you happen to go past a bookstore and see it, would you pick it up for me? I'll pay you back. And then when we reconnected for the family reunion, he was like, here's your book, happy birthday. So I'm really excited. This is my first non-US version of a Stephen King book, and it came in paperback, which is super cool. I didn't expect like a new release to be in paperback, but it is like very delightfully floppy. And this one, I just kind of like the UK cover a little bit more than the US, just because I think just like the greenery and the background is just a little bit more cohesive than the plain white, I think like white or silvery shiny cover of the US version. So I'm really excited to own this. I don't know if I will pick up a US copy just to have that hardback of this one, but super stoked to have the newest Stephen King, and of course a gift from one of my favorite people on earth, my brother. So definitely excited to have this book in my collection. And then the next 2 books are gifts from my grandparents, and I'm super excited to dive into both of these. These are highly anticipated fantasy books for me. So the first one is Of Blood and Fire by Ryan Cahill. This is The Bound and the Broken, book number 1. Super excited to get to this one. This is a fantasy book with dragons, a dragon rider fantasy. I have heard great things about this series, been meaning to dive in for a while, and now that I have book 1, that will kind of put this on my like priority TBR a little bit more. So excited to read this one. And then also I have The Sword of Kaigen by Emma Lang, and this one I'm really looking forward to. Blood Over Brighthaven was one of my favorite books of last year, and that is by this same author. So I I cannot wait to dive into. This one came out before Blood Over Brighthaven, but I just read Blood Over Brighthaven first, and this one is, the subtitle of this is a Theonite war story, and I think this one has like an older protagonist, and I've just heard a lot of wonderful things about this one, and because I loved Blood Over Brighthaven so much, I just have very high expectations for this one. So super excited to dive into both of these. They're both very chunky fantasy books. This one's book one in a series, and this one is a standalone. And then the last three books that I got for my birthday are from my mom. She is like the queen of finding cool finds at thrift shops and secondhand stores and Facebook Marketplace. She's just really good at finding just the most incredible deals and the coolest little things. So I got three mass market Thomas Harris books. I have read The Silence of the Lambs. I'm pretty sure I might have tried to start Red Dragon or something like that, but she found these three mass markets, and I do like a good mass market paperback, especially for something like Vacation, where you want to take something that's small, that's going to fit in a suitcase, fit in a purse, fit in like a travel container, something like that. So I am pretty stoked to have these in the collection. Not to give too many reading plans away, but I do have a vlog planned out for later on this year where I am going to be reading a Thomas Harris, revisiting a classic. So I am pretty excited to have these in my collection, and two of them are movie tie-ins and one of them just has a really cool cover. So for the movie tie-in covers, first up we have Red Dragon, and then we also have Hannibal. I don't really know what it is, because if it's like a recent book that is like currently getting a movie adaptation, I really don't like the movie tie-in covers, but something about a mass market paperback of a kind of like modern classic, I guess. Would we slot in the Hannibal Lecter movies as like sort of like modern classics because they're like 90s, early 2000s? Something about these, I like them more than if a book comes out like this year with a movie and like gets a movie tie-in cover. There's something about these that I just like a little bit more. So we have these two, and then we have Hannibal Rising, which just has a very standard cover, no thrills. We got the author name, we got the title name, that's all you need to know. So I am pretty glad to have these three Thomas Harrises in my collection now. And then my family reunion was in Denver, Colorado. So of course I was in a new city. I had to go book shopping in some of the books around the area. Book number one I got from a Goodwill. I wasn't anticipating on getting anything here, but some members of my family had to pick up some things. We were also Denver and then also in Breckenridge, and Breckenridge was a whole lot colder than any of us had packed for, so we were trying to get like some sweatshirts, stuff like that. I checked their book section and was pleasantly surprised to find a near perfect copy of White Horse by Erica T. Worth. This is a book that I have read before and really enjoyed, and it was $2 for a brand new hardcover. So I did have to pick this one up. And then also in Denver, we took a trip to Fahrenheit's Books. I will pop some pictures up here. Very cool indie bookstore. They curate like used books, so it's not just like anything. They make sure to find like really cool finds because it's a smaller shop. They just have an incredibly curated, great selection. So my partner actually got a couple of things. He got this copy of Kingdom Come by Mark Waid and Alex Ross, and this is a Justice League comic. I have actually read this one. My partner has as well. He's a big comics guy, but he doesn't like have a collection of his own, but he saw this on the shelves and wanted to pick up this one. There's just a lot of excitement in this house, at least, about the new Superman coming out. So we got Kingdom Come, and then he also picked up The Dark Tower, The Gunslinger Born by Peter David, Robin Firth, Jay Lee, Richard Eisenov, and of course Stephen King. My partner has read book one of The Gunslinger, and this just seemed like a great addition to our collections. I love Stephen King. He's starting to get into Stephen King, and he is a comic book guy, so we figured this would be a fun book to add to the collection. vacation. And then of course, speaking of Stephen King, I managed to grab this pretty pristine copy of The Talisman by Stephen King and Peter Straub, and I just really, really love this cover. This era of Stephen King covers, I really, really appreciate. Like the Harris book before, like we've got a plain cover, we've got like a really cool font, you got the title, the author's name, that's all you really need. I love like this retro horror font, so I was really glad to pick this one up, and I think I need to read this book, and then Black House soon, because I think the third book in this series is on the horizon. But that is going to be it for this birthday slash vacation book haul. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my content. Stay safe, stay spooky, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!